Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now, Tyson Fury has explained he believes that Oleksandr Usyk will defeat Anthony Joshua and Anthony Joshua should vacate his WBO world title so he does not have to face him and can face Tyson Fury instead. Because obviously, he believes Usyk beats AJ and AJ is the biggest fight for him. So he doesn't want Anthony Joshua to get beaten by Oleksandr Usyk so they can have their mega fight for Undisputed. Now, this is what Tyson Fury had to say about this. Yes, I believe that Usyk beats Anthony Joshua if they fight, but I bet they don't. Why fight Usyk when you can get paid like 10% of what you can against me? Forget the belt, vacate. We're not in boxing to fight unknown guys, we're in boxing to fight the biggest fights. So that is what Tyson Fury has had to say about Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk. Now, Joshua has to fight Kubrat Pulev first, then he will have his WBO mandatory, Oleksandr Usyk. So that Usyk fight isn't next for Anthony Joshua, he must fight Pulev first. Then it will be Oleksandr Usyk for the WBO, provided he does not get an exception or vacate the belt. Now, I don't believe Anthony Joshua is vacating any belts because his goal is to become undisputed. If Tyson Fury loses that title, he wants to fight Wilder. If Tyson Fury, say, vacates that title, then Anthony Joshua wants to win against the new champion. So it's not about fighting Tyson Fury. Not about fighting Deontay Wilder, it never has been. It's actually about becoming undisputed and unifying all of the titles together. That is what is most important for Anthony Joshua, not necessarily who he is fighting. So AJ will fight anyone for that WBC world title. It could be Tyson Fury, it could be Deontay Wilder, it could be a complete curveball and be Alexander Povetkin or Dillian Whyte. We just don't know at this point because we won't know until the fights happen. I mean, we believed that Dillian Whyte was going to beat Povetkin. He didn't. He might win it in the rematch, he might not. So this is so unpredictable in the heavyweight division, and we can't really plan beyond their next fights when you consider one punch can change everything. We cannot yet count out Deontay Wilder. We can't even count out Kubrat Pulev because, I mean, I know that Tyson Fury is talking about Usyk, but I mean, Anthony Joshua has to beat Kubrat Pulev first, and everyone seems to believe that, yeah, AJ's going to beat Pulev, he'll just walk straight through him. Pulev is a good fighter. He does represent some challenges for Anthony Joshua. So Anthony Joshua needs to focus on Pulev, not Usyk, not Tyson Fury, because Kubrat Pulev is right there waiting to upset the apple cart, just like Andy Ruiz Jr. done. And I think that at this level, you cannot look beyond your next fight. And that is what Anthony Joshua must make sure he is not doing. He's done that before and he paid the price. I don't believe he will do it again. So even though Tyson Fury is the one who is talking about Oleksandr Usyk, that is not even Anthony Joshua's next fight. It would be like talking about Dillian Whyte or Alexander Povetkin for Tyson Fury. The fight isn't happening. He's fighting Deontay Wilder next. That is what is important. And Wilder can pull out one big punch. He's done it his whole career. So we don't know what's going to happen beyond December in the heavyweight division. These are the fights we have. So they are the ones we need to focus on. And more importantly, the fighters and their teams need to focus on. Now, one interesting thing I have seen in this is Anthony Joshua wants all of the belts, to unify all of them and become undisputed. Tyson Fury wants to fight Anthony Joshua, but he doesn't care about the belts. Tyson Fury also explained he's won all of them. He's won the unified titles that Anthony Joshua has. He's also won the WBC and Ring Magazine World title. Twice he's won the Ring Magazine title, but ultimately he's won every single belt, so he doesn't need to win any more. So it's not the belts that he's after by fighting Anthony Joshua. He just wants to fight AJ in the biggest fight in heavyweight boxing. In fact, the biggest fight in world boxing at the moment. So Tyson Fury is just looking for the big fights. He said that that's all he wants. He wants to fight Deontay Wilder because that's the biggest fight that can be made at the moment. Then he wants to fight Anthony Joshua because that's the next big fight that can be made after he defeats Deontay Wilder again, provided he does. Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn explained before Dillian Whyte's loss to Alexander Povetkin when he was still interim WBC World Champion and would likely be upgraded to WBC World Champion, then Anthony Joshua wants to fight Dillian Whyte because that is the only belt he does not have and therefore the belt he wants. So it is all about undisputed for Anthony Joshua. So maybe we believed that Anthony Joshua would vacate an IBF world title or a WBO world title so he could go and face Tyson Fury because that is the biggest fight. He won't. I don't believe he will now. I believe that Anthony Joshua, as he has previously said, does want all of the belts. Therefore, he will not vacate any of the belts he currently has because then it's not undisputed. So while yes, the Tyson Fury fight is extremely important, and Eddie Hearn does often say that if Anthony Joshua feels he's being played, then he will vacate. But I don't believe he will. And we don't hear it from Anthony Joshua, we hear it from Eddie Hearn. So we need to hear it from Anthony Joshua that if he does want to vacate, then that's what he wants to do. But Eddie Hearn explaining that he will happily vacate an IBF or WBO world title to fight Tyson Fury, that's kind of not true, because we do know that Undisputed has always been the goal, not necessarily Tyson Fury. And going back to Tyson Fury believing that Oleksandr Usyk will beat Anthony Joshua, well, Usyk is not proven in the heavyweight division just yet. He's a brilliant fighter, extremely talented, and former undisputed cruiserweight world champion, but he's not proven at heavyweight. We need to see him fight Derek Chisora, maybe even another fight before then, but I mean, he's going to fight Anthony Joshua because he said that he is going to force his position as a WBO mandatory, so he will fight AJ probably next year, unless Anthony Joshua asks for an exception to make a unification fight against Fury. But you have to wonder about Oleksandr Usyk in the heavyweight division. Can he take the punches? Can he take the combinations that Anthony Joshua throws? Because AJ will land at some point. His punch accuracy is good enough to land on Usyk, and Usyk does get hit. He got hit a lot in that Tony Bellew fight. Anthony Joshua will land his punches, and when he does, how is Oleksandr Usyk going to deal with that? He's never been hit by someone that big, that powerful, and that strong. So Usyk will really find out what it's like in the heavyweight division at the top level. He's been in there with Chaz Weatherspoon. He's going to fight Derek Chisora next, but there is then a big jump to Anthony Joshua, a heavyweight world champion. And all it takes from Anthony Joshua is one big punch. I think Usyk is brilliant. His footwork, his movement, his speed, just everything. He's a 9 out of 10 in every single department. Maybe not in the punching power department. He's not the biggest hitter, but ultimately he's extremely fast, he's durable, he's quick, he moves well, his footwork incredible, his head movement, lateral movement, he can box going backwards, he can box going forwards. So all of that is brilliant from Oleksandr Usyk, but the thing is, I just think that Anthony Joshua is going to be too big, too powerful, and too strong. He will keep Usyk on the outside, he will hurt him continuously, and Usyk won't be able to pressure Anthony Joshua like he has done in many of his fights. That is going to be extremely difficult because AJ will keep him on the end of a jab. He will work on keeping him on the outside as well, catching him hard and often, and that will completely discourage Usyk from coming in. I mean, against Tony Bellew, he did walk through some punches, but that was Tony Bellew. This is a big heavyweight, 6'6", 17 stone. And he does need to be able to hurt Anthony Joshua, and I don't believe he can. I don't believe his punches are powerful enough to stop Anthony Joshua or hurt him. And Anthony Joshua has proven in the past, if you cannot hurt him, he will take your punches to land his own. He is happy to go in there with Oleksandr Usyk and not really care about what is coming back. So guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Tyson Fury believes that Usyk beats Anthony Joshua and Anthony Joshua should vacate that WBO world title if he wants to keep this big fight alive. Guys, anyway, drop your thoughts on this in the comments below, leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.